people every Sunday in a bunch of services because the building's not that big, doing God's work together. That's healthy. And we should be just as healthy by percentage. Except at New Hope, we want 100%. This community here that we've been parked next to for years, how is God designing New Hope to take it for him this year? And we're right next to another one and another one. Lake Elsinore is right there. We're like we border up against 3 cities, Menifee, Canyon Lake, and Lake Elsinore. What are we doing about it? What are we doing about the people here? It starts with us individually, but collectively as a body, we can't just do church. We have to be the church, doing all this stuff together that Peter just talked about. And as we do it, we enjoy doing it. I love being with you guys. I love it when we're rolling up our sleeves and doing something for the Lord. It feels good. It's wonderful. Service Sunday. Remember that? How cool was that day? That was such a cool day. Happened once. Why? Because the churches, it happened once, in my opinion. Because the churches in Menifee didn't care who got the credit for it for 1 year. And the following year, what are we getting out of it? Started creeping in. She gone. I don't want to ever be like that. If we follow this model that Peter gives us, going back to verse 12, even angels long to look into these things. That's what I want. I want angels to long to look into the things going on at New Hope. Extreme Tours in the UK, pray for them. That's from New Hope. That's what I'm talking about. That's the church going. That's the church being. Do you think it's easy for Ted and Susie to be in the UK? You're like, wow, they get to be in the UK. No, it's not like that. It's not. It's a faith walk. The Extreme Tour doesn't have the money. But God said go, so they went. He raises his budget a year in advance, and the budget's not raised for next year. We're good this year. God's got to fix it for next year, or change something or do something. How many of you would go to the UK without health insurance? Ted did. TemCare that he was on, and I might be sharing too much, I don't care, canceled him. So we're scrambling to take care of that need. Now, I know some people that, man, we need to circle the wagons and figure this out. Healthcare is important before we go and do the ministry. Not Ted, not Susie, and not vanity, but just an example. Sober-minded. What's God want? Let's go do it, regardless of what that means. Hope Learning Academy looks like no other school. Trust me. Yeah, I got my master's in teaching, and trust me, we look like no other school that I studied as part of that master's program, because God has been honing it over the years. First year, talk about going back, boot camp style, line them up, make them salute, search them every morning, blah, blah, blah. Didn't win any hearts. Control them real well. Got noticed because people were like, wow, look at those kids. They're tucking in their shirts, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and they're robbing you after school. Any hearts. Until we started connecting with them at the level the Lord wanted us to connect. Then everything changed. Everything. We need to continue doing stuff like that. And that doesn't have to be the school. It doesn't have to be anything. It has to be the heart and the intention behind it to just do God's will and not worry about all the other stuff we worry about. He'll make it work. How am I going to support Jordan to go to CCU? It's still going to be money. She's getting a great scholarship from them, but it's still going to be money. I'm a pastor at a small church. God's got this. I said it into the microphone. God will provide if he wants her there, and we think he does. Not even want faith there. They talked to Coach Hayes yesterday. Yeah. I don't know that she liked the idea of being a bullpen catcher, but doesn't mean she couldn't go and shine and show them that, yeah, you still want her in the bullpen. She's got a better pop time than your other 2 catchers, and she hits bombs. What? Especially in Colorado. They're all in Colorado with you, though. Yeah. Just do what the Lord wants and let him provide. That happened to me yesterday. I'm not going to go into detail. They need school uniforms. It'd be cheaper to get street clothes. School uniforms aren't cheap. God provided. Done. Cool. God just provides. I could talk about this all day. But with sober minds, alert, fully sober, my hope is on the grace that Jesus Christ brings now and when he returns. And I want to be obedient, Lord. I don't want to conform to the evil desires when we all lived in ignorance. But Lord God, just as you who called me is holy, help me be holy in all that I do. Lord, I know that you judge all of us impartially. And I thank you for the grace and the mercy poured out on our heads as you judge us because of what your Son did. Help me, help us to live out our time as foreigners here in a reverent, loving fear of the fact that he who said, "Let there be light," is in charge of my going, my returning, and my ending. You're an awesome God that we love and we serve.